Okay, I know it's considered un-Australian, but I have to confess that my knowledge of sport isn't the best. My guest is a former member of the Australian cricket team who during the 80s played in 27 test matches and 48 one-day internationals. These days, he puts his experiences to good use as a mentor and support to young cricket players. My guest today is Wayne Phillips. Hello Wayne, welcome to Footprints in South Australia. Thanks so much for joining me for a chat.
No troubles at all. I'm enthused, intrigued. So we'll see where it goes, Julie, but no dramas at all. Lovely to be a part of it.
Well, I'm really glad that you're here. Now, I'd like to start right back at the beginning, your introduction to cricket. When and how did that all come about?
It was pretty simple. I'm local Adelaide boy and Westbourne Park Primary School kid, and so that's where we played. My brother, is 18 months older than me. My brother Rod and Dad, of course, who was an ex-Sturt footballer. But in summer we played cricket. That's what you did: footy in winter, cricket in summer. And Dad would bowl, Rod would bat, and I'd have to wicket-keep behind the 44-gallon drum at home at Cumberland Park. And that's exactly where it started, and it's been just such a terrific trip since then.
Oh, fantastic. So who were the people that encouraged you or mentored you as a child?
I think it probably was, excuse me, it probably was Dad. I mean, he was the coach, the organiser, gave us great encouragement, an opportunity, having been a footballer himself. He played close to 100 games for Sturt Football Club. And so he knew about sport, and he knew about that, not discipline, but that enthusiasm about being there on time, ready to go and wanting to play. And we had a little bit of success. I guess we were reasonably competent and could do that. But we played our footy in winter as well. But enjoyed it and just kept playing. And as I say, they were the two choices you had, one in winter, one in summer, and we kept going with it.
Did you continue your football for a little while?
Yes, I did. I was very fortunate. We did Westbourne Park Primary, Dawes Road High, a couple of years at Scotch College, so I played right through there. And then I played for 2 seasons out of school, just as my cricket, in underage cricket and things like that, state cricket, and I could play. So my last game of footy was for Morphy Parks, just down the road from where we are now, Julia. So just down the road, and played in the Morphy Park C grade 1976 premiership side. So that was a great thrill. And sadly, I was away with an Australian youth side that went to England when they had the premiership photo taken. So there's all the team and all the names, and absent Wayne Phillips. Oh. So that was the photo in the Morphy Park club room. So it was just terrific days. And so we enjoyed our footy. We still obviously follow the Sturt Footy Club. Dad, late father, a life member of the Sturt Football Club, and my brother and I both life members of the Sturt Cricket Club. So it's good fun.
Yeah, what a wonderful childhood.
Very lucky.
Now, you played 27 test matches for Australia and 48 one-day internationals, while also playing for South Australia all over about 13 years. If you could choose one cricketing moment to live again, what would it be?
I think it's, from a cricket playing point of view, it has to be my first test match for Australia, to be selected. And then I was in pretty good form. I was very fortunate. I got some runs early in the Sheffield Shield year. So then to be selected, so I was confident and comfortable with my form, and then to go out there and play for Australia and make 100 in your first test match there at the WACA ground on the 11th of November 1983, as if I don't remember it. It can't be any better to make that 159, and people still talk about that and remember it. So it was pretty special, and it can't, as I say, to be in that team with Rod Marsh and Greg Chappell and Dennis Lilly. It was captained by Kim Hughes, and Alan Border was in that side, and it just can't get any better than that at all. Yeah, impossible to be better than that. So that's the great playing memory. But from a cricketing memory, the opportunity and the wonderful memories of meeting Her Majesty the Queen and chatting with the late Princess Diana and, things like that on the England tour in '85 is pretty darn special as well.
But you must have had some really fabulous encounters with people. The team members that you mentioned, I remember those times, and that was really, I guess I sort of stopped watching cricket after that, so I don't know any of these, all the players since, but that team I remember being really quite successful and famous.
Yeah, that's a nice way to remember them. I mean, those three names are icons of the game, aren't they? From that era, Dennis, Rod, and Greg, and that was all of their last series of Test match cricket for Australia. So to be there in that dressing room, and it's amazing, and how the game has changed. I mean, we were sponsored by Victoria Bitter and Benson and Hedges. Yes. So a beer company and a cigarette company. Let's go and represent Australia in cricket. How good!
That's hilarious. I'll have to go back to some of those videos and spot that around the oval.
Yeah, very funny. Yeah.
Now you've talked about being a wicket keeper for your brother and your dad, but you were a batsman. You've also talked about that successful first innings for Australia. Many people expressed opinions about that at the time, and since. I've read quite a few. How did you cope with that constant media and so-called expert scrutiny of your professional performance?
It wasn't difficult at all. I was playing at, yes, it was a challenge having to keep and that sort of thing. I hadn't kept for a little while, and then came into the side, and then there was an injury, so I had to take over the gloves. So it wasn't something that I was expecting to do, but I was getting a game of cricket for Australia. Yeah. I was getting to represent my country at the highest level, and there would be 20 million trying to do that or wishing they could do that, and I was. So there's absolutely no issue at all about the challenges that presented. I expected there would be challenges. I expected there would be opinions of the performance, and you have opinions yourself of your own performance in that regard. So there was absolutely no issue at all. I was playing cricket for Australia, and the rest of you can go again. And that was the easiest way to
experts providing their commentary weren't playing for
Australia.
They
weren't playing. I was. So have your opinion, but look, I can't stay and talk to you. I've got to go out there and play cricket for Australia. It gets no better than that, and that's a genuine, honest answer.
That's such a fabulous attitude to have, though, because I think that sort of scrutiny and that commentary and criticism could really get you down, but having that focus on the wonderful opportunity that you had to go and be a wicket keeper and a batsman.
yes, exactly. And it was an interesting time. The West Indies at that time, Geoffrey Dujon was keeping there, and he'd almost created that all-rounder status of the job. Traditionally in cricket, the all-rounder is a batter and a bowler, or a bowler and a batter. But being able to keep, well, then that allowed another player to play because the keeping was being done, and I did okay with the bat as well. So it just created a few more opportunities around the place, and I go back to it, I was playing. Yes. Yeah, the rest of you.
Don't really care what you're doing.
You better believe it.
That's fantastic. So whilst we're talking about these wonderful days of cricket, I'd like to have a little look at this item that you've brought along today. So this is, I'm actually a bit excited to be holding this hat as well. This is your cap. Now, was this the first, did you get one cap?
You get one, and that is it. And I'm very proud owner of that, and it's a wonderful memento of those days, and people like yourself and our viewers who are getting as close to it as that. And it's an amazing thing. People come and do exactly what you're doing, but they will not, and you won't, I know, but you do not put it on your head unless you've played cricket for Australia. Then you're entitled to put it on your head. So I'm Test match cap number 320. So all of us who have played in Test match cricket have all been assigned a number, and I was number 320, and that was my playing cap. Fantastic. And that's it. And yes, and that was it. It was that's pretty not overly exciting, but that's my nickname.
Is that your nickname?
Yeah, got my name in it, and that's
That's yours.
yeah.
Not mine. We can't be mistakenly.
And now they physically do put the number in there. They didn't in those days, but yeah, that's it, and that's what we play. And you know the amazing stories and the fighting and arguing and the carrying. It's a bloody hat. But yeah, no, it's the baggy green, the famous Australian baggy
It's
green.
precious. So when did they start producing? Was this like Donald Bradman had a baggy?
No, well before that.
Well
yes,
before.
well before that. So yeah, that was, and then it became the real trademark of, and then Stephen wore, and then the presentations with you know people from the era before you receiving it, or someone of relevance, or someone who had some influence, or you know that sort of thing. It was then able to make the presentation.
So it sounds like it really became, or it's become a symbol of, I suppose, the honour that you have also, the responsibility that you have to the game, to Australia.
Yes, yeah, nicely said. I mean, you know, it comes with some baggage, and it comes with some responsibility, but it comes with those fantastic memories that have been created by all of those that have been before us, who have earned it, not gifted it, but earned it. And I hope that I'm sounding very, very proud that I've received it. But yes, I am, and it sits at home in a fairly relevant, prevalent spot, and people look at it and ooh and ah, but you haven't played, and you're not putting it on.
You don't put it up. Well, I've not played cricket with Australia. I actually played a little bit of backyard cricket with my brother, who also didn't play for Australia, but he wanted to play so badly that he would just let me bat and bat and bat. So I had to get out like 5 or 6 times.
before,
Yes, and then
over.
I would bowl for him, because batting always seemed a little bit more exciting. I don't know. I wasn't very good at throwing a ball, obviously. But he got to practice his bowling.
Well, there's some, you know, those wonderful stories that, you know, that we hear of, that backyard cricket, that it's played at Christmas, and the whole family, and the rules, and all the things that go with it. Yeah, and you're having a game. There's a reason. Batting a ball, there's an esky with some, esky with the stumps on there. Yeah, all of those things, and they occur now. And the other thing, of course, with the game is I'm saying I was a member of the Australian cricket, I was a member of the men's Australian cricket. Yeah, now the ladies have got, you know, such wonderful opportunity, and for the girls, the young ones as well. There's terrific programs available. So it's not as with footy, you know, it's not a male only sport at all. It's a sport that's there to be enjoyed and by the masses, and that's exactly what's happening.
That's fabulous, isn't it? So being a professional sports person is a choice. You train for years, often daily, to perform at the highest level, but sometimes it seems there are unexpected consequences of choosing this career, both mental and physical health. If I may, I'd like to explore that issue. Now, you've spoken about your own experiences of depression and challenges faced by professional cricketers, indeed all professional sports people. How have things changed, if at all, since you were playing first-class cricket?
I think probably in that era, at that time of my playing, you know, if you were a male who was experiencing some challenges, you'd never speak about it, because that just all that did was confirm that you were a weak prick and toughen up a bit, champ, you know, that sort of thing. I think now there's been some genuine progression, and there's some real benefits in, you know, this mental health and these programs that are supportive and absolutely designed specifically to address these types of issues that do present themselves. It's a very challenging situation, and it can be. And I had a fairly difficult period in my time at the end of my playing. I was coach of the Redbacks and lost that role. My father passed away and lost that, and of course the death of David Hooks, my great mate who I was with when it occurred. So that I think upon review became very, very challenging, difficult, impacting situations on me, and I just felt as though I wasn't as sharp and as ready to go and up like I'd normally been. I was very lucky. I was asked by someone, "Are you okay?" Which was, and I thought, oh, bugger, I don't think that I am. Yes, and I went online and went on to the, that mental health, websites and did the quiz. And first time I got 10 out of 10 in a quiz. Are you experiencing, do you? Yeah. And went and got professional help. And, on the back of that, I left the doctor's rooms with a smile on my face, knowing that it was identifiable, that it was treatable. I still take medication, and I just been very, very conscious of making sure that I'm not trying to take too much on and expose myself again.
It's a great feeling, isn't it, when you realise you can take control?
Yes.
And be well.
Yes, and so important. We hear and see so many episodes of those who don't, and I'm genuine that there is absolutely professional assistance that is there. It's available, and take it whilst you can, and secure that. It's been terrific.
Do you think there is adequate support for mental wellbeing of elite sports people in Australia?
I think it's getting better. It's a heck of a lot better than, certainly in the last 10 or 15, 20 years. It's, there was nothing, as I mentioned before, you couldn't go and say, you couldn't admit to it because, you're weak. So, now there are genuine programs available. It's part of the, not everyday education, but they'll go through those tests and asking and those educational sessions to make sure that they've brought it forward. So, it's there, it's available, and if you are being challenged, please, make the point. But we're certainly a lot better. I don't know that we've mastered it yet, but we're certainly a lot better than what we were.
Today you are the State Coordinator of Australia Cricketers Association. What do you find most fulfilling about that role?
It's a fantastic role. There's one of me in each state territory, of Australia, the Australian Cricketers Association. It's a group. You're entitled to be a member if you have played state or international cricket. So that's male and female. So all of that's available, and so we look after. We have some funding available, and we look after the health of our members. So we do a couple of health checks a year. So that that's eyes and ears and skin and cholesterol and all of those sorts of things to make sure that we're as well as we possibly can be, and if not, that we can organise for assistance to be there. We also look after their career opportunities after that, so we give them the chance to be supportive with that. And the other one that we do, which has been very popular, is going out to schools and clubs in various regional areas where we can send former players who have got their working with children certificate, which they need to have, and which they've got their capacity to deal with coaching of young ones, male and female, so that they go back and put into the game, continue to put to the game that's been so good to them. And those appearances are funded. So there is a payment there for those. So, it provides some genuine financial input, which is often so much appreciated by those that are undertaking those sessions. It's great fun. And so, it's not a difficult administrative role at all, but it's great to catch up with a few others and catch up with the deal, obviously, with the South Australian Cricket Association, and make sure that we're getting the right people into the right places in the right areas, dealing with those challenges. So, it's fantastic. Very rewarding.
And how wonderful to give people that opportunity to give back and feel like they're making a difference.
Oh yes, and it's genuine. It's often just a text message. Oh, it was brilliant last night, Flipper. We had the best fun, and thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Well, you're getting that in a completely genuine nature, and knowing that that there's a check headed their way as well. But they're talking to young kids about playing the game of cricket, and hopefully, making sure that they can progress as best they can.
Yeah. And have fun.
Yes.
Enjoy their
it's an enjoyable time. The game is there to be enjoyed, to be played within the rules and certainly within the spirit. But to continue to give that way, it's and we encourage that. It's good fun.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Finally, if you hadn't made the grade as a cricketer, what career path do you think you might have chosen?
Gee whiz. I've never ever had to consider that. I'm very fortunate. Professionally, I've I have a Master's of Business in Sport Management, so I completed my studies and did that. I've done some of that sort of thing. I've been very lucky that I've worked in the media quite a bit here in Adelaide. I do all the voice of the AFL games at the Adelaide Oval, so I do all of those sorts of things. So I've been very fortunate that, just with the profile that I guess the game of cricket has provided, I would have been, I would have found something, that was there and that was available that I would have committed to. So, very, very lucky that, the game of cricket has just been fantastic to me, Julia. It's provided these opportunities now, and still to work in radio and still do a bit and do those. And I pinch myself how bloody lucky I am, because I understand that. And now, a proud grandfather of four boys, four grandsons. I have two adult daughters, both married with four grandsons. It's just fantastic. So, and my grandparenting name is Ted. Yes, so I was never going to be grandpa or pop or pa. I was Ted, because when I found out Abby, our eldest daughter, was pregnant, I was excited. At the end of the pregnancy, I was exhausted. If you look at my cricket career, I was obviously gifted. And with a wife and two adult daughters and four grandchildren, I'm financially rooted.
That's wonderful. Well, I hope that you have many hours of wicket keeping for your grandsons into the future.
It would be great.
And, I'm sure they've already got their little cricket bats.
Yeah, they know their way around. It's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
they know what they're
It's
doing.
pretty cool.
That's really wonderful. So congratulations on a wonderful career of cricket and post-cricket, and a really loving family as well, because
we're
it's...
very, very fortunate. And as I say, the game's been very good, and it's been lovely to be able to share it with you and our viewers.
Well, I really appreciate it. It's been so lovely chatting with you today, Wayne. Thank you so much for being part of Footprints in South Australia.
My pleasure, and I'm taking my cap home.
All right. If you were lucky.
Well done.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Good.